In this video I'm going to show how to sketch a Haunched Mortise and Tenon. So as always, I start with the isometric grid paper. I'm going to draw a line at 30 degrees. I'm going to draw this together, so I'm not going to bother with an exploded view in this here because it'll be quite difficult. I'm going to start by 5, 8 and 3 squares and create the rectangle. Then I'll extend these lines down. I'm going to come a distance of 5 first of all, and then continue down 8 after that there. And we're setting up the corner joint. A lot of joints fall into the category of corner joints. And at the top, I'm just going to come in each of the 2 squares there, just a middle square for the little hunch in the top, and then 3 squares high from the bottom in the middle on the left hand side of the piece. And you can see it's drawn out lightly there. I'm highlighting the outline of the corner joint. Then I can actually put in the detail of the tenon, which comes the whole way through, and then the haunch at the top. A little bit of end grain shows what the piece is wood, and we can put in our face side, face edge, and piece A and B along with their dimensions. And I'm keeping these a distance of 2 squares back from the edge of the piece when I'm drawing it. You can see the caps where it shows the stop of the dimension. The line that I'm drawing in now is not quite as heavy as the heavy lines of the joint itself. The stock piece that we have is 44 by 30. And the dimensions of the haunch at the top are 10 millimeters. And it's set out into 3 equal divisions of 10, 10 and 10. So just all the sizes being placed in here now. 27 for the tenon that runs the whole way through. Face side, face edge. Sometimes the face side, face edge could be placed to the outside because it would be the edge maybe that you would want as the best looking part, because we could be on the outside of a frame. That leaves us now to go and do the setting out. So piece A being on the left with the tenon, I'm covering 1 square for waist, 5 and 8 to match the proportions that we have. Even though we wouldn't measure the middle waist, I'm putting in 3 squares, 8 and 5 then to the end. Start that there, bring it to the depth of the 5 squares and the thickness of 3 squares, and you can draw the outline of a piece of wood, and we have all our kind of setting out all at the ready for putting in the details. As you can see, I'm rooting my hand as I'm going up along the piece to be able to draw a straight line, so don't try and just stay with your heel of your hand rooted at one spot to try and draw that long straight line. So all I'm doing is including the waist now, starting out, and I'll go about drawing in the joint detail after this now. There we have the waist. The location of the joint, which has to be the 5 squares in from the end, and then the actual haunch. You can see I've come down the 3 squares. The 2 from the top actually and 3 from the bottom, and that shows where the gauge line should go in. And the tenon, as per other tenons, we have 3 equal spacings of the 10, which you can see I'm drawing here. They should be parallel. And the shoulder of the piece. Up on the other end, we're going to be lacking a little bit of detail because we'll only see the long slot of the tenon which comes out of the piece. We won't actually see the part where it's actually going to be stopped, but I'll try and highlight that here. So we'll come down the 2 squares, and you can see that's where the stop would be, and the other piece would be running up to that. Would be going the tenon going the whole way through, and I'm showing the shoulder line of where that would actually be, and there's no need for that line up on the top of the piece. There we have the piece now in its entirety, with the exception of labeling in piece B and face side, face edge. Here's an exploded view that I had done earlier, and it's okay. You can see where they're lined up. I've if you were to have a go at them on the isometric grid paper. Very good practice to have a go at that. Much more complex than what we're after doing here.